I mean, the dollar's on the slide, there's no doubt about it. So the way I look at currencies, I break them up into three components: the political, the structural, and the cyclical. And so if you look at the political, we've gone from adding to GDP because we're going to get all sorts of changes in Washington to add to GDP. That's now everyone's dropping their numbers. The political risk in Europe was very high. It's now very low. So that's all working against the dollar. And then the Fed's basically priced in, and now we're hungry for rate hikes. We've seen one in Canada. We're looking for hawkishness around the world. That's working against the dollar. And on the structural side, nobody seems to care about anything structural anymore. So you can feel the political and cyclical side of the world is working against the dollar, and the dollar is drifting lower, as it should.
Do you think the market's got the Fed right at this point? Because they're writing out the prospect of another rate hike this year.
Yeah, the market gets the Fed right. The Fed gets the Fed wrong. I mean, that's been exactly what's happened with this kind of forward guidance. They tell us rates will be 3.5% every year the next year. Well, they ain't. So markets have been smart. Sometimes the consensus is right.
The market is keeping an eye on Mester this week and Williams for any commentary around what the Fed might do. But if you look at the slide on the dollar index, you've got to ask if it's something greater than the Fed now. Is it about Donald Trump? Is that why the dollar simply can't arrest the decline?
Well, as I said, there's the mixture of the cyclical and political. So I like to look at them separately and then add them, because that question is typical where you mix them up. So let's look at the US side. As I said, you know, our economist pushed up numbers by 0.3, 0.4 for next year, thinking there'd be a fiscal boost. He's just taken them back out again. That's what's harming the dollar. So the ability to get the legislation that we thought was coming through, there's a disappointment. And then with the Fed, listen, if they're going to be tapering for the next 100 years, whether they start in September or December, or they do the, the rate rise in September or December, we've got, September the start of the kind of share buyback, and December we've got a rate hike. You want to say it the other way around, I'm not going to really have an argument with you.